All right, welcome to High Desert Highlights. I'm Steele Haugen. This is Peyton Thomas. And Peyton, it's quarterfinal week, and we have two 5A teams still alive.
Yeah, two very talented 5A teams, and one of those is the top-seeded Summit Storm. They get West Albany tonight, the 9 seed. Summit getting things started on the ground with Jude Anderson. He scored the first touchdown of the night and gets a first down here, but the Storm offense really couldn't pull away throughout this first half. And that's due to a couple of slow-moving but productive Bulldog drives. Great catch here by the receiver. How about this concentration to get around the DB and bring that pass in? Bulldogs inside the 5, but they can't convert. Settle for the 3. They make it a 4-point game. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter now. Still tight game. Summit finally get the play to break this thing open. Guthrie goes to the long bomb. He's got Conrad Dodge beating the secondary and in for the long touchdown.
And you need to keep them balanced with pass and run offense.
Yeah, late in the half now, Summit forced to punt on this next drive, and it goes wrong. Max Shepard drops the snap. It's forced to fall on it after picking it back up. Bulldogs take over in great field position, and this time take advantage, muscling their way into the end zone between the tackles. Storm not used to ball games this close, especially at home. They take the 14-10 lead into the locker room in the second half. It's back to work on offense, dumped off to Anderson, and Jude Anderson, shifty, picks up the first down and more. Summit drive does stall out though. West Albany trying to move things through the air, but the Summit secondary comes up big. Dodge, who had the long touchdown, now gets his pick. That puts the Storm in position, but they face 4th and 3. Going for it. The run's right. Anderson, he stopped just a yard or two short. Huge stop for West Albany.
And that is key for your defense to make those plays.
They could keep themselves in the game. They turn it over. That turns it over on downs, and now Bulldogs can work. And finally, West Albany finds a spark on offense. It's back-to-back first downs here. First one into the flat, and then on the ground one snap later. But the Storm bend. They don't break in this series, forcing the field goal to stay in the lead, 14-13. Now it's all about trying to grind the clock. Under 3 minutes to play, this Anderson first down allows Summit to get it under a minute. Now the Bulldogs have a chance to come away with the upset if they can score here. Less than a minute to go. Second down. Drops back to pass. Caden Scott, this time intercepted by Connor Keneally in a black jersey, and he'll run that thing down. It was a gritty, hard-fought game, but that interception seals the Storm win 14-13. They move on to the semifinals. You know the student section loves it. You know that Storm football celebrity Kane Robinson loves it. They don't care how they get it done. They're moving on. I caught up with Summit head coach Corbin Hyatt after the win.
Boy, that was a tough one. We knew they were a great team. But you know what? We found a way to win it at the very end. So, you know, I'll take 1 point win and we'll move on to the next round and get ready to face whoever.
The Storm will take on Churchill in the semifinals.
All right, now to Mountain View, where the Cougars host the Dallas Dragons. We're going to head to the first quarter. Alex Tulin rolls to his left, finds Braven Peeler, who almost scores, but just not quite close enough. Then Tulin again back to pass to the end zone. Diving play by Robbie Capers, but the ref calls incomplete. Wow, one more close look.
Yeah, this is... See, I think the ball does hit the ground there, but heck of an effort to try to haul that in.
You want to just try for another one. Tulin's going to do a play-action pass. Jetson Gillum, he's in for the score. No doubt about that one.
Yeah, he caught that.
Dallas, they have the ball. Thomas Hess to Chase Erickson to put the Dragons in scoring position. They do end up settling for a field goal, but it's missed. No points for Dallas. Now, second quarter, it's Erickson again with a catch. This time, he finds some room. He turns on the Jets. He gets this outside corner. He looks like he's going to score, but he finally gets brought down by Tanner Locke at the 1-yard line. Cougars hold them on fourth down. They get the stop. This was absolutely huge for the Cougars.
I mean, there's no more momentum swinging play than when you stop your opponent on fourth down at the 1-yard line. Keep the points off the board.
Look how fired up they are. Now, Mountain View, they have the ball. Precision pass to Gilliam again. Great catch, great gain. And now it's the Cougars in scoring position. Now, all they need to do is not do that. Fumble! It's going everywhere. It's a scramble. Mountain View, they look like they come up with the ball, but the referees say Dallas. Now, pay attention to this play. Dallas scrambles. Angel Valenzuela, great effort to try and punch the ball out of the offensive hands, but the referee throws a flag, and Peyton, kicks out Valenzuela out of the game.
Yeah, that's one that head coach Brian Crum probably not happy about, talking to the officiating crew. And, you know, they teach players to peanut punch right there, try to poke that ball out. Looked like that was what Valenzuela was doing. We'll see if he's available for the semifinal.
And final quarter, Cougars need something big. Toss to Ryder Carpenter. Wait! He throws it back to quarterback Alex Tulin for the first down.
That a little Philly special?
Big fourth down. That was a Philly special, and that goes from Tulin to Easton Ray for the go-ahead score. Philly special to go-ahead score. Mountain View wins this one 14-0. They move on to the semifinals, and we caught up with Ryder Carpenter, who had this to say about the game.
Unfortunate calls went our way, but our O-line, they were showing us up. Our wide receivers, great job. I mean, they've been a little low, and today they showed. They got our 2 touchdowns, big catches, and that was awesome. And quarterbacks, just like he's taking hits out there and staying out there being a leader. So just great leadership out of everyone. That's definitely for sure.
Carpenter and the Cougars take on Silverton next week.
That brings us to tonight's 5A scoreboard and steal. These are 2 offenses, Summit and Mountain View, we've been talking about all year, but really it was defensively tonight. Both squads getting it done, pushing them into the semifinals. Things didn't look as crisp offensively as we're used to seeing.
I mean, it looked like Summit held West Albany to a lot of field goals, and Mountain View with those big goal line stops.
Yeah, gotta love those goal line stops, getting them into the semifinals. Let's take a look at the 5A bracket. Really have a good idea of how this thing is shaping out now. And Summit, that top seed, you imagine they have the slightly easier route. Well, Churchill, back-to-back upsets on the road as the 13 seed. They'll play Summit in the semifinals. Then Mountain View, a tough Silverton matchup ahead.
That makes you a little nervous if you're Summit, a 13 seed coming all the way to the semifinals, and Mountain View. I mean, I thought this Wilsonville-Silverton game was going to be good. It's great, and I think this game is going to be equally just as great.
Yeah, that Wilsonville-Silverton game finished 35-32. Wilsonville, the defending champions, now knocked out. So Mountain View and Summit on opposite sides of the bracket, well, they just both need to win one more game, and they would match up in a potential 5A final. All right, a preview for Culver and more top plays coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to High Desert Highlights. Now, Steele, we're through the quarterfinal action with 5A, but we do have one local 2A team still yet to play its quarterfinal. A number of these quarterfinals are being played tomorrow afternoon. That includes this Culver-Bandon matchup just over your shoulder.
And we talked about it earlier. We kind of felt like Culver was a little disrespected in the rankings as far as how low they fell, and they proved their worth by beating Santiam last week, and now they have Bandon undefeated, 5-hour trip. Some of them already left today, I believe, to play tomorrow. And you got Lost River on this side of the bracket. That's Culver's only loss of the season, only loss. I believe they're 9-1, 10-1, pretty close to that.
I was going to say, you look at Culver's strength of schedule this year, and it really wasn't all that high except for playing Lost River, and they just didn't look that sharp in that game. I'm sure that Culver would love another chance to play Lost River. If they do upset Bandon, the 3 seed, on the road tomorrow, they may have that chance to face Lost River again.
And they're used to those long rides, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is another really good close game.
Okay, that kick is tomorrow afternoon, so make sure you keep an eye on that one. But for now, it's time for our top plays of the night. And Steele, first we go out to Mountain View.
Yes, we do. A great trick play. Mountain View, toss play to Ryder Carpenter, but then throws it back to Alex Tulin. Clutch!
You gotta love when you break out the trick plays in the playoffs. You have to have confidence. You need to make sure everybody on your offense is on the same page. And I mean, this is a crucial point in the game that led that score.
If Mountain View didn't get this drive or get this play here, this would have been a very difficult way to end the game.
All right, now moving on to Summit. This is the Andrew Guthrie long bomb to Conrad Dodge. And Dodge got a pick later in this game, but how about the ball? Conrad Dodge getting past the secondary. He's blazing into the end zone, and Summit won this game by just 1 point. So that was absolutely huge. All right, one quick look at the 5A bracket. We've got games to look forward to next week. Summit against Churchill, Mountain View against Silverton. Steele, do 2 Central Oregon teams make the final?
I think they do.
All right, Steele called it. We'll see you back here next Friday night.